Alright, this is just a follow-up here for a very well-known issue on the ice makers by Frigidaire or Electrolux, whatever you want to call it. You've got these French door with top-mounted ice makers that freeze up, frost up, lock up, don't work. Class action lawsuit back in 2016 for them. I decided after the fourth time of defrosting this thing every 90 days, I was going to try to take it one step further. And this is just an update as to what I've discovered today. So, make no mistake, Electrolux is very well known about this. And they've done something that is supposedly going to correct it. I'll have to follow up on that. But I'll take you over to the normal ice maker setup that you see in your refrigerator. You can see you've got your typical handler that's set up inside the top left location on these French door fridges. Sets in the back of this housing. You've probably already followed the other guides about removing the entire ice box assembly along with the ice maker itself and the tray and how you get in there. This isn't about that. This is about what they've changed. I decided today to see about getting a new defrost sensor because it's frozen up like a brick even though there are defrost sensors attached to it. As a result of that, interestingly enough, I found out that we have a new part number. You can see that, 5303 91 87 84. And it includes a new housing, which is this housing you're looking at here. However, it's not the same at all. In this housing, you had section 1 that held the evaporator and the defrost grid, and you had to slide it out, and it all froze up and iced up, and the gaskets and seals would go bad on either side where the water was supposed to drain out into the pan down below. Didn't do a good enough job. They just literally filled up as a block of ice. And then you had this section here, which held your actual auger motor and your cooling fan, which in most cases, because of its design, very, very shallow design where the fan sets so close to the front, they would fill up with ice and literally bind up the blades of your fan, which froze them up and caused the whole thing to stop working. New design is a complete retrofit. It includes the removal of the entire evaporator housing. This piece right here is discarded and thrown away. It's replaced by a two-piece aluminum foil, or I shouldn't say foil, but aluminum tin shields that wrap around the evaporator. The new housing has been completely redesigned. As you can see, the depth up top now almost matches the full depth of the auger motor. You have a new way you mount your fan, which includes a very, very different design on a foam insulation piece that spaces and distances your fan from the actual evaporator coil. So it's very, very different. You no longer even have the piece in the back, and you now have a very stout, heavy-duty, rubberized gasket that seals it to the back of your refrigerator housing, if you can see that. This is far, far greater a design than the first one. Will it work? Only time will tell. I've reassembled it now, and I'm getting ready to put it back in, and before I took it out of sight, out of view, I thought I would shoot this video so that anybody who's making the consideration of throwing this thing out or just unpowering it every month and waiting 7 days for it to melt itself out and then powering it back on, they can make the choice they want to pursue the right repair.